Good evening. Can you hear us online? Yes? Great.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good evening. I call this meeting to order. The Board of Education regular meeting, Monday, May 12th, 2025. Mayor Elicker, if you would please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We will now move into public participation. So welcome to the Board of Education regular meeting. Regular meetings are a time for the board to conduct its business. As a Board of Education, we are here to set goals, listen to reports of the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, and personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. The board may hear public participation up to 60 minutes. Public participation shall be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. One speaker cannot yield their time to another speaker. There will be no responses this evening to any questions or concerns raised. They will be referred to the administration for review. As adults, we serve as positive role models for our students. Please be respectful of people. We ask speakers not to make defamatory comments or use abusive or vulgar language. Dr. White, are we ready for? Okay, thank you.
Our first speaker is Jason Moranes.
Good afternoon, members of the Board of Education. My name is Jason Martinez. I am a senior at New Haven Academy, a lifelong student of New Haven Public Schools, and a proud member of both the New Haven Immigrants Coalition and the New Haven Climate Movement. I come before you today not only as a student, but as someone who has lived in the reality of our school system, someone who has relied on his teachers and librarians to become the person sitting in front of you now. Today, I testify against the proposed cuts to New Haven Public Schools, cuts that threaten to remove librarians and teachers. These aren't just budget lines or expendable roles. These are people, support systems who shape student lives every single day. Removing librarians isn't just removing books. It's cutting off students from gateways to knowledge, critical thinking, and curiosity, which are skills essential in today's world. Ms. Cielo, our school librarian, has had a huge impact, not only on me, but on the entire NHA community. Despite her title, she does so much more. She's a mentor, she helped in producing our yearbook, and she steps up in countless other ways. These librarians are extremely important, and yet they consistently go above and beyond their job descriptions. To cut them off is to disadvantage a lot of students, and that is an injustice. Cutting middle school sports is cutting away at opportunities for students to build confidence, leadership, and resilience. For many students, sports are more than a game. They are a lifeline, a reason to stay engaged, a space where they are seen. I know this because I've lived it. These people aren't just part of our schools, they are the heart of them. And when we take them away, we don't just lose services, we lose stability, growth, and opportunity. Members of the board, I urge you to protect the essential fabric of our schools, because when you invest in these roles, you're not just investing in these programs, you're investing in the mental health, academic success, and full human potential of every student in New Haven. The choices you make today will echo far beyond the numbers on a page. They will define what kind of future we are offering the next generation. Thank you for your time and for your responsibility to listen, not just to the data, but to the lived experiences behind it. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Bahati.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bahati Mulungula, and I'm a senior at Hill Regional Career High School. I've been a proud New Haven public student since the 3rd grade, and this fall I'll be attending Columbia University. That still feels extremely surreal. It still feels extremely surreal to say, but while it may seem like a personal milestone, it's really a reflection of something much larger, the power of this community and the educators within it, the educators who helped me make that dream possible. Tonight, I won't just stand here to share where I'm going. I stand here to honor the people who helped me get here, the teacher who believed in me when I struggled to believe in myself, who planted seeds of hope and confidence when all I could see were barriers. When I first arrived in New Haven, English wasn't a language I knew. I remember sitting in classrooms where the words felt like waves crashing over my head, constant and impossible to catch. I felt lost, not just in translation, but in spirits. I spent months learning English through Iris, and every day I felt like I was trying to catch up in a world where where it felt like the world was moving without me. When I reached middle school, I was placed in Read 180, and although it was supposed to be a support system, and I know it was, but to me it felt like a label, a reminder of everything I wasn't. I started to believe that maybe I didn't belong in the spaces I was occupying. But then Mr. D, my English teacher at the time, he taught me believe. He looked at our classroom, a group of students struggling to find a place, and every day in class he would say, if they can do it, so can you. That sentence honestly became more than a model. It became my anchor, because sometimes all it takes is one person to see past your accent, your hesitation, your silence, and to see the strength and to speak the strength they see in you. ESL teachers and educators like Mr. D are not just instructors. They're translators, not just of language, but of hope. They help students like me move from doubt to purpose. And it didn't stop there. In high school, I was lucky to learn from teachers like Miss Murphy, my journalism teacher, and Ms. DeCoco, my health teacher. Although they teach in spaces that aren't really classroom, they teach in converted closets where there's no windows, barely any air, yet they are able to bring light anyways. They teach with heart, creativity, and deep devotion, not because it's easy, but because they care. This is what educators do. They show up even when the system doesn't. They give you room to grow when the world feels too small. And in districts as diverse and complex as New Haven, we need more ESL and special education teachers. We need educators trained to meet every student, no matter their background, right where they are, and help them believe they can move forward. So when we talk about cutting teachers, we're not talking about numbers. We're talking about people. We're talking about teachers like Mr. D, who make it possible for kids like me, not just to learn, but to dream. I know there are hard decisions to make, but please remember, they are not just budget decisions. They are human ones. They determine whether the next student walking into school is afraid and unsure whether they have somebody waiting there to say, you belong here and you can do this. Please don't take that away. Don't take away the people who made it possible for me to stand here tonight. Continue investing in teachers, students, continue believing in what we're capable of, because you've already seen what happened when just one teacher does. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Our next speaker, Annalise Jorgensen.
Thank you, New Haven school board members, for letting me speak today. My name is Annalise Jurgensen. I am the school library media specialist at Fame and East Rock Schools and a citizen of New Haven, Ward 25. I am horrified that you are considering eliminating all of the school libraries and media specialists here in my community. In your five-year strategic operating plan, you state in your section on core values, we believe equitable opportunities are essential for students to succeed in college, career, and life. However, removing libraries would steer you far away from achieving the dream of true educational equity for our students. Top-performing public schools in Connecticut all have libraries staffed with certified school librarians. A study in Pennsylvania found that students who have certified librarians in their schools scored higher on reading, and that having school librarians play substantial roles in closing the achievement gaps of Black, Hispanic, and Latino students, as well as economically disadvantaged students and students with disabilities. Another core value states, we believe collaboration and partnerships enhance our learning and achievement. School librarians frequently collaborate with our peers. It's central to our jobs. For their class research projects, I help my students find accurate resources and how to properly cite their findings. I introduce my students to literature based on their curriculum units so they can get a deeper understanding of their subject matter. We librarians teach necessary skills, including citizenship, critical thinking, and internet literacy in this age of misinformation. I teach lessons on internet safety and how to find accurate information in the sea of ads, scams, and misleading clickbait. We give students a sense of personal ownership of their learning. Students are free to choose what they want to read rather than having someone force a specific text on them. This incentivizes students to work on their reading skills and sparks their imaginations and curiosity. School librarians are trained to curate collections of books and media that both reflect our students' own experiences, as well as quality texts to introduce students to different points of view. I've helped students find books about their culture, histories, and special interests. Libraries give our advanced readers access to books that can challenge and enrich them, while our struggling readers are able to pick from a variety of engaging texts where they can practice their reading skills and gain confidence in their abilities. One of my favorite interactions happened recently with a 7th grader. He was sent to me because he needed a break from class and came to the library to help me unpack a shipment of new books. As he looked at the titles I selected for the school, he told me, "Miss, I don't like reading, but these books look pretty good." Maybe for the first time, he saw himself in a book and was interested in reading and learning. That is what you are thinking about taking away. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Karima Weber.
Good evening. My name is Karima Mickens Weber, and I am honored to serve as the May Week Chair for the New Haven Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Tonight, we are here for Delta Day at the Board of Education, a moment to shine a light on how investing in our youth transforms the future of our entire community. Programs like Delta Academy and GEMS are at the heart of that mission. Across Greater New Haven, we provide mentorship, guidance, and educational support to girls ages 11 to 18, focusing on academic success, goal setting, leadership development, and post-secondary readiness. This year's May Week theme is Education is the Game Changer. Own the future, lead the way. It came together in powerful ways. We kicked it off with a read aloud at Ross Woodward and Wintergreen School, where over 100 young minds heard the message that they are enough, just as they are. Thanks to our partners, New Haven Public Schools, the Ruby Fund, Gateway, and Project Longevity, we placed over 300 books into hands of young readers, planting seeds of possibility. At Wilbercross High School, we brought the HBCU experience to life. Alumni and Greek Life members shared with hundreds of juniors and seniors how those transformative spaces opened doors and changed their lives. And on Saturday, we handed the mic to our youth, Our youth symposium was entirely youth-led. They chose the topics, shaped the agenda, and led the discussions. These discussions were centered around the words of Nikki Giovanni. We have a world to conquer, one person at a time, starting with ourselves. They tackled real issues, mental health, job opportunities, and toxic hair products. These were the things that they wanted to talk about. Tonight, as we close May Week, we celebrate our scholarship awardees, young people stepping boldly into their futures. Thank you for being here, for believing in our young people, and for standing with us as we continue to uplift the next generation of game changers.
Our next speaker is Katrina Rice.
Good evening. I am Katrina Rice, the president of the New Haven Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. May I please ask that all my sorors please stand so you can present with me. We are a proud international public service organization with more than 350 initiated members and over 1,000 chartered chapters worldwide. We are all committed to transforming community service. For over 65 years, the New Haven Alumni Chapter has served the greater New Haven area, delivering impacted programs rooted in our sorority's 5-point programmatic thrust: economical development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, political awareness and involvement. We are committed to supporting education, empowering youth and families, and advocating for public safety that protects, uplifts, and serves all our members of our community. We take pride in everything that we've done, and we are excited to be opening the doors for our next generation of leaders. Our current social action priorities reflect on our steadfast journey in justice, equality, and opportunities. Our priorities as a sorority are voting and civic engagement, economical justice, education, environmental justice, health equity, reimagining public safety, and reproductive freedom. Through these priorities, we advocate for systems that are fair, healthier, and more inclusive, especially for our children who deserve the absolute best that we can provide. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. We look forward to continuing to serve, support, and stand together for social justice and the well-being of our community. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lillian Holmes.
Good evening. I am Lillian Holmes, Scholarship Chair for the New Haven Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Since the chartering of our chapter, we have awarded nearly $500,000 in scholarships to deserving students in our service area. We work with school leaders, counselors, advisors each year to identify students who excel academically and demonstrate leadership and community service. This evening, I am honored that I have the privilege of announcing an exceptional class of scholarship recipients for our 2025 year. This class of recipients represents students who have been recognized through the College Board's National African American Recognition Program and students who have even extracted DNA from an organism and then amplified it and sequenced the gene of their choice. These young people have not only excelled in their classrooms, but have shown a deep commitment to serving their communities. From a very, very competitive pool of applicants, our 2025 recipients are in alphabetical order. Timmy Adjaniran from the Engineering School, University Magnet School. Timmy, if you could come forward. Would you like to come?
Yeah.
Would you like more, Ethan? Yeah.
Congratulations. Yes.
We'll stay for the other students.
Two more.
Savon Diggs, Hamden High. As she's coming, what I failed to say is Timmy will be attending Yale in the fall. And Siobhan will be attending the Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, yes.
I guess we're all going behind.
And our next recipient is Zamara Mitchell, Hamden Hall, and she will be attending UConn in the fall. Not able to attend tonight to receive their honor include Elena Williams, Hillhouse High School, who will be attending UConn, Sarita Williams, who attends Sacred Heart, and she will be attending Brown, and Madison Foster, who attends the Sound School. We offer our sincere congratulations to all scholarship recipients and to their village of school administrators, advisors, counselors, and teachers. And of course, for their very first teachers, their parents. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be Ben Scudder.
All right, hello, Board of Ed. My name is Ben Scudder. I'm a New Haven resident and I teach at high school in the community. I'm here tonight really to try and just open up a little bit of a conversation about transparency and share a little bit of how some teachers are feeling. We have been asked to work together with you to fight for more funding for our schools. I've been calling Governor Lamont nonstop. Still hasn't picked up the phone, but maybe one of these days. But we really are trying, right? Teachers got together at May Day, right, and marched the streets of New Haven, asking the governor to give us more money, right? Teachers have gone with, and students have gone to Hartford to ask for money multiple times, and we'll be going back. And it feels like we're being asked to sort of work together as a team, but then at the same time, being pitted against each other. Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and while I appreciate what that week signifies, it was also a week where in many of our schools, someone came in and said, hey, you're going to be losing some staff members. They're going to be right-sized. Teachers are highly qualified, highly educated people. When we hear terms like right-sizing, we see through it and know it means people are being involuntarily transferred, right? That positions are being eliminated. All right, now I know that no one's being laid off right now from that group, right? We're talking about our librarians and music teachers and art teachers being laid off. That was a distinction that people didn't understand was coming. But I do think it's important to acknowledge that right now, I think when we really need to be united as a city to get more money from the state, we're being a bit divided around this. And I think it's for good reason on the teachers' part, I think, that folks are feeling like, they need to ask for more money from the state, but they also see how crucial their librarians and music teachers and art teachers are, right? At my school, someone came in and said, hey, you're gonna have to figure out how to make do with one less English teacher, right? Schools, teachers were asked to make do with less all the time. And I think the feeling from a lot of teachers is that we wanna make sure that folks telling us to do that are also feeling the same pressure, right? That you've heard it before, there need to be cuts from the top and all of that. And I wanna reiterate, I think it's important, but I really just wanna make sure that in all of this, yes, let's push the state, but let's also make sure as a city that we're holding ourselves accountable to do what's best for our kids, because we do have control over a lot of what happens here. And I know that we don't have as much money as we want. I would love Yale to pitch in more. I would love the state to pitch in more, absolutely. But I also want to make sure that we do right by our kids with what we have here. So I'm just here to ask you all to make sure that you're on our team on all of that. I think we really do want to work together. And I hope that we can figure out a way to make sure that we're not eliminating all our librarians, art teachers, music teachers. That seems so contradictory to everything we're trying to do here. And I'll end with one final quick story. Today at my school, I'm a high school teacher, and many of my students were taking the NWEA test in English, right? A test that helps their English teachers figure out their reading level and literacy abilities. And it struck me that this test that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars was being administered at the same time that these kids were being told they probably won't have a librarian next year. Right? My question was like, what's going to help their literacy more? This test they take over a few days where they actually miss class, or having a librarian all year? So it felt like sort of this glaring example of maybe how our priorities might not always be aligned with what we're saying, or maybe our decisions aren't aligned with what our priorities are. And I want to just make sure that we do that. So thank you for your time, and I hope we can work together to make sure our kids get the education they deserve.
Our next speaker is Rose Murphy.
Good evening. My name is Rose Murphy. I'm a proud NHPS teacher and NHFT member, and have been so for the past 11 years, and I'm honored to be a past NHPS Teacher of the Year. I love my job, my students, and my coworkers, and Dr. Negron, I am grateful truly every day that you took a chance on me in 2014 out of college. But I'm so sad that I feel obligated to speak today in order to justify the work that my colleagues and I do each day. I'm deeply troubled by the recently proposed plan to choose teaching positions as the primary targets in an effort to reduce the NHPS deficit. I teach English at Career High School. This is directly across from 130 Orchard Street, formerly Strong School, now unused city property, appraised last year at approximately $20 million. On Tuesday at Career, as you know, we had a special ceremony. 38 of our seniors graduated from their Certified Nursing Assistant training program. Photos from that day were posted on NHPS social media with the caption, "At NHPS, we proudly invest in #career pathways, affording our students a brighter future." One day prior to this, district leadership came to our Monday staff meeting and from our business and medical themed magnet school announced the elimination of 5 teaching positions, including an allied health medical position and a science position. There's no physics at Career, the district's largest magnet school. When I left my school's committee meeting today, our only allied health and medical teacher, who is currently teaching all our medical courses, plus the 6th course, plus managing CNA clinicals, plus writing curriculum, although now it seems there will be no one to teach it, was panicking and trying to understand how to move forward with her job. She said, "Every one of my students wants to go into health or nursing. I spent my prep today trying to find some kind of program so they can take physics over the summer because they won't get accepted into nursing schools without physics as a prerequisite." At our most recent English department meeting, our department discussed our increasing numbers of multilingual learners, many of whom are newcomers to the United States. In 2017, we had 34 multilingual learners requiring support. This year, we have 101. We were hopeful that we would qualify to hire an additional staff member in our department. Instead, again on Monday, district leadership informed our department that we would be losing an English position, and with it, lose the English teacher who teaches 5 sections of below grade level freshmen, including all freshmen who are requiring sheltered content English. I do not have that experience or expertise, nor does anyone else in my department. When I asked for the district's rationale for cutting these specific positions, I was told that leadership looked at numbers, but not which ones. From the numbers I see at work, it seems bold to call this right sizing, since it's clearly not right for students or teachers. It seems especially bold when there is no transparency in how these numbers were determined. Making the choice to begin cuts with student-facing employees is not only immoral, but ineffective when considering the goals of our district. We value our students in New Haven, kids first, so I'm hard-pressed to understand the logic in choosing to dismiss the people who are tasked with educating them. Teachers and librarians, these are the people our district relies on to make our incredible programs possible. Programs that we see advertised on billboards and buses when the district tries to court suburban families, programs that are contacted to perform at the district convocation, programs that are plastered across the Office of Choice Enrollment website, but programs that are apparently not worthy of staffing. It is true that our state must adjust its guardrails in order to more fairly fund our schools, but to pretend that the choice is either crossing our fingers for increased state funding or deciding to eliminate vital student-facing positions like teachers and librarians is a false dichotomy. There exist many, many available off-ramps before we should even begin to consider such extreme and harmful measures. These off-ramps are obvious to everyone here and to our students, so to refuse to consider them seems like it's not a fiscal decision, but is instead an indicator of our district's values. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Leslie Bartow.
Good evening, board. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Blatteau. I'm a teacher and parent in New Haven Public Schools and the current president of the New Haven Federation of Teachers. And again, I want to reiterate, NHFT has been on board and will continue to be on board when it comes to the work of pressuring our legislators and Governor Lamont to adjust the fiscal guardrails and fully fund our schools. We are committed to that work. We are going to be going to the state capitol on Wednesday, May 21st after school, and we invite the community to join us at the Capitol as we continue to message to Governor Lamont that there is a racist and classist school funding system in this state, and we need to do better. But also, we have to collaborate to ultimately meet our goals of transparency and equity. And that collaboration needs an answer to a question I raised at a Board of Alders meeting that I want to repeat here tonight. That for every dollar that New Haven Public Schools spends on our students, what percentage of that dollar makes it to kids in classrooms? We are looking for an answer to that because as you heard from students and from teachers, right now it feels like teachers, students, and schools are bearing the brunt of the deficit right now. We know that right now layoffs are on pause until we find out more from the state budget. But let's be real, the staffing cuts and involuntary transfers that are happening will impact student opportunity and will impact teaching and learning in our district. The collapsing of science, math, ELA, social studies vacancies means less AP courses for people who might very well be recipients of these scholarships in years to come. It means no access to physics at our premier science magnet and medical magnet school. It means higher class sizes for students at the K-8 level. It means bigger caseloads for our coaches and other instructional staff. So again, why are teachers and students being asked to bear the brunt of the current deficit? And we are committed to do the work, but it's really hard to balance out these competing realities. We would love to see the district propose selling some of the property that New Haven Public Schools owns. We would love to see the district review and right-size newly created positions in central office. We would love, rather than teachers opting out of schools, we would love for families to be given the option of opting out of transportation so that we could ultimately cut transportation costs. We need a new fee structure for permits in this city. Yes, we want to be part of the community, but at what cost? We're cutting teachers so community groups can use our spaces at a cost to our city. We need to identify, in the name of transparency and equity, how much we're spending on the dollar. We will keep fighting in closing until June 4th. But regardless of the outcome in Hartford, we as a city have to take care of our students, and that means prioritizing our staff at the school level. Thank you.
Dr. President, that concludes all hands.
Thank you. Thank you. Next on our agenda are the approval of the minutes of March 25th, 2025 special meeting and approval of the minutes of April 28th, 2025. So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Wilcox?
Yes, just one correction on the minutes for April 28th, 2025. In the Head Start report, I think the minutes need to reflect that the board heard updates related to the Head Start Focus Area 1 results and the Head Start RAN review results. I think those need to be mentioned by name. I'll follow this up with an email.
Thank you. Other discussion? Thank you very much. Seeing none, we will vote. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Joyner is not here. Dr. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Juarez?
Yes.
Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Ms. Cologne?
Yes.
Mr. Musser? Oh, he's not here. Thank you. Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. The personnel report, Dr. Negron.
Thank you, Dr. Yarborough. Before I ask for approval of the personnel report, I do want to highlight that we have 5 individuals that will be retiring. This is after serving the district for 30 years or more. So we have physical education teacher Sharon Arnold retiring at the end of the year, June 30th, after serving 32 years. Gwendolyn Bright, math teacher, also retiring at the end of the year after dedicating 41 years to the district. Jennifer Dinnan, instructional literacy coach, also retiring at the end of the year after serving for 34 years. Pamela Tung, Read 180 teacher, also retiring at the end of the year after serving for 41 years. And last but not least, Elsa Rivera, bilingual first grade para educator, retiring, actually retired already on April 28th after 30 years of service. That completes my personal report.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for their service. Dr. Benitez?
Yes, thank you. I would like to give a shout out to Miss Arnold, who is the person who has championed the snowball event at Fairhaven School for the last, oh my God, I should remember how many years, but at least a decade. She has encouraged students to believe that they can participate, be inspired to go to college. She brings college representatives to the school and gets people from the community to be part of this great celebration that I encourage everybody to attend this year. If you next year if you can, because Miss Arnold will not be with us. And I hope that we continue to do this, something that represents the great dreams that our kids do have and continue to believe that this city and district can make real for them. So just wanted to give thanks to Miss Arnold for her work with this. And also as a PE teacher, I served with her when I was at Fairhaven, and she was always someone that I could rely to help my now called MLL students. Then were bilingual students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benitez. Is there a motion for the personnel report?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we will vote. Ms. Downer,
Yes.
Mr. Juarez,
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox,
Yes.
Dr. Benitez,
Yes.
Ms. Cologne,
Yes.
Mayor Elicker,
Yes.
and I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. Next, we have the first reading and approval of the graduation policy. Dr. Benitez?
Yes, good evening. I am proposing that we vote to approve the graduation policy for the New Haven Public Schools. It is a policy that has been revised as of October of last year, and we have been temporarily approving it every year. However, it is an important thing that we have been doing, and we should have this as a permanent decision, since what we are saying is that we are adjusting to the changes at the state level when it's necessary, and that we are including the seal of biliteracy on our diplomas, something that we have been doing, but we have not updated the policy for a while. So we would like for us to consider approving it as it stands now. That is P 6146.
Thank you, Dr. Benitez. Is there a motion?
I can make a motion to approve the graduation graduation requirements policy P 6146 as it reads at this moment.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Want to thank the governance committee and staff leaders for their work. Seeing none, we will vote. Dr. Benitez,
Yes.
Ms. Downer,
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox,
Yes.
Mr. Juarez,
Yes.
Ms. Cologne,
Yes.
Mayor Elicker.
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. Next, the Finance and Operations Committee. Mr. Wilcox?
Thank you. Before we get started, is there anything anyone would like moved separately?
Yes. Does he have your list?
6.4, 6.5.
Did you hear
I'm
that?
sorry, I did not hear that.
6.4, 6.5.
6.4 and 6.5.
And for
Right.
me, just the first MOU with iReady.
All right, 4.01, got it. All right, so I move that we approve purchase orders 6.04 and 6.05, both with SHI International.
Second. Any discussion? Ms. Downer?
Yes, thank you. I Prior to this, in the F&O meeting, I requested that he go back and look at the pricing between going directly to Microsoft, and I never got the letter. So I wanted to follow up also with 6.4, I'm sorry, with multi-year contracts. I did ask those questions and I never got any response from the district. I think we should think about when we're doing our contracts, and if there's an opportunity to go directly with Microsoft, we should take advantage of that, because that also gives us a great deal of savings. So I did request that in F&O and didn't get the memo.
I have a question for the district is, do we know if it's time sensitive?
For the 6.4 and 6.5, these are so that we can set up for next year. So if we would like to pause to the next one, we can do that. I do want to answer just a question around the multi-year question. And that one, I do recall Mr. Brown mentioning during the presentation that often when it's new, when we're embarking on a new vendor, we at least, because we haven't done business with them before, we like to at least have a 1 year, so we're not committing ourselves into a long span of time, just to make sure that things work out in the manner in which we are hoping that they will work out. But I do not have the answer about avoiding the third party.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes, I'll be voting in support of these tonight. We had extensive conversation at the Finance and Operations Committee meeting on the question of a multi-year. Mr. Brown did discuss the reasons why he was recommending not doing that, just because for the reasons that Dr. Negron just mentioned. That was, we're working with this new vendor, wanted to see how things went before getting us locked into a more lengthy time period. That makes sense to me in the contracting that I do in my work. That's a factor that I have, is we want to see how things are going. And especially in these budgetary times, being locked into multi-year contracts, while you can save a % or two, it also can lead to consequences where you have to pay for that item, even though you might, for budgetary reasons, might not want to. And on the other question about going direct to Microsoft, Mr. Brown did provide information about the cost savings that this would be. He explained his rationale for it, and I'm fully in support of that. He mentioned much money saved by not going direct, and the rationale was along the lines of needing to have Microsoft and Google licenses for everybody, as opposed to this company which would manage, so that we can provide licensing on demand for only the people that are going to be using them, and be able to be flexible as to turning access on and off based on the need of the end user. So for those reasons, I'll be supporting these tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. Further discussion? Ms. Downer?
So my point is this: if I'm requesting something, I think I rightfully deserve it. I'm just asking to just take a look at it. Regardless of the reasoning that someone give you, that's your choice, that's your understanding of it. But I've asked for multi-year if they were going to offer. And also, using a third party with our personal information puts us more at risk than going directly with Microsoft. So I clearly don't understand. I understand you have your reasons, but I still have something that I'm asking. I don't understand why it seems to be a problem when I'm asking for something and I didn't get it. So that I'm only asking. You have your reasons of why you believe, that's fine. I believe having another third party with our information puts us more at risk. So if you can go to Microsoft, we should be doing that. And also it brought up that he was short-staffed, and I said that doesn't give it a reason to spend more money. We gotta find ways to do it what we got. We can't just keep spending money just because we're short-staffed. That was one of the other things that Mr. Brown brought up in the F&L. So when is that gonna stop? So it doesn't give you the right to not give me the information that I'm requesting.
No, it doesn't. So if I don't get the information, I'm coming to the board meeting. I did it the right way. It didn't get done. So I'm asking for the information, and if I don't get it, I'm coming to the board meeting. This is not a surprise to no one here. So I'm just letting you know, when I asked for information, I asked them to get a price directly from Microsoft. Why are we using these third parties? We got all these vendors flying all over the place, and we talking about getting rid of librarians and musicians and everything else. You gotta talk to me different, because I work for the public. I'm not gonna just say yes to that. I asked for some information. I rightfully deserve it. Maybe I should learn another language. So if I ask for the information, I don't care what you think. I want the information. Period. Thank you. And I would like to have it until I get it. I mean, I know you can go through Microsoft. I know you can. So if you just sit up here and say, hey, if I wanted to really be really distasteful about it, I could be like, okay, you were hired for something. Why are you looking for a vendor to do your job? We are spending an enormous amount of money with vendors, but yet we're talking about teachers leaving. Are you kidding me?
Would you like to table this?
Yes.
So what is the process for voting on that? So we can decide how to move forward. Mr. Wilcox?
Mr. President, someone can make a motion to table. If it's seconded, then we vote.
Okay.
Mayor
Elicker?
Just given there's no discussion on the table, I want to confirm, is there an issue with the timeline here? If we wait till next meeting, is there an issue?
No, I'm just listening.
I do not believe there is one,
Okay, so,
so we can wait.
yeah, and just to be clear, Chris Brown, his salary is paid for by the city. So there was a comment made about the Board of Education's financial situation, and Chris Brown is paid for by the city of New Haven, not the Board of Education side. But I support a motion to table if a board member needs more time to get an answer to something.
Mr. President, I just want to just let everybody know, I try to do it the right way. Because I could just come here and just get really, I don't want to be unprofessional. But when I'm asking for something, I'm asking. I literally do work for the public when I'm sitting on this board. I have an obligation to the citizens of New Haven. And one of the things that's extremely important is the education system. And also thinking about how this money is being spent. It's going back on the taxpayers here. We got to start doing things different. And I want to make a motion that we tabled 6.3 and 6.4 and 6.5.
I second. So there's no discussion and we can vote. Ms. Downer,
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox,
Yes.
Dr. Benitez,
Yes.
Mr. Juarez,
Yes.
Ms. Cologne,
Yes.
Mayor Elicker.
Yes.
Thank you. So that motion carries for that item to be tabled. Oh, I'm a yes as well. I did not go. Thank you.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
All
And mine
right.
is for a table also.
Excuse me?
I said mine is for a table also.
Well, I'm first going to move that we approve item 4.01,
Okay.
data sharing agreement with iReadyMath.
I second. Any discussion? So just myself, the finance committee is going to review our data sharing agreement. And so I checked in with the district to see if this particular policy was this particular MOU was time sensitive. And my understanding is that because it is for the next academic year, it is not time sensitive for today. And so I want an opportunity for us to review our data sharing agreement and talk further about this one before it comes back. Any additional or different discussion? Oh, I moved to table. For me to table? Oh, okay, before I table, yes. Ms. Downer?
So the importance of tabling something where you have organizations that have our students' demographics, our information, our assessments. You'll be surprised how people try to mark New Haven Public School system. We have a wonderful team. We have a wonderful curriculum. I've gotten the chance to see, going to the schools where I can't understand where all this stuff I used to hear because of the stuff that I do see. I see teachers that really care in the curriculum and the things that just the students that came up here tonight, and let alone the students that have already been here. You know, you're talking about a student that went through ELS and she's, kudos to you both for coming up here. I know we're not supposed to be talking, but I just wanted to say this is New Haven Public School. And this is what we want here. And we want to make sure who gets our information and what they do with it, because some people can paint those pictures and they don't know the true story, and I'm in agreement with our president tabling it. I know he's been very vocal about protecting our students' assessments and anything they can get their hands on. I was sitting here tonight, I had to, just push a fish back to the New Haven Public School, IT department. I know it's fishing, so you got to be really careful, but we're here and we hear you. So yeah, I'm in agreement with it also.
Thank you, Ms. Downer. So I move that we table the MOU 4.01 for further discussion.
Second.
Thank you. We do not further discuss that, so we can vote. Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Benitez?
Yes.
Mr. Juarez?
Yes.
Ms. Cologne?
Yes.
Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. So that motion is tabled. Mr. Wilcox?
All right, thank you. I move that we approve the remaining 3 memorandums of understanding, the 4 amendments, the remaining 4 purchase orders, and the 1 contract.
I second. Any discussion? Seeing none. Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Dr. Benitez?
I abstain.
Okay. Ms. Downer?
Yes.
Mr. Juarez?
Yes.
Ms. Cologne?
Yes.
Mayor Elicker?
Yes.
I'm a yes as well. That motion carries. Thank you. And that's all, Mr. Wilcox?
Yes.
Thank you. Our student reports. Ms. Cologne?
Okay, hello, I'm Janiley, and I just wanted to give a debrief on the May Day event that we recently had. And it was a rally where community members, students all marched around the streets of New Haven, and it was a time for students and community members to really unite and to talk about the injustice in education and injustice in human rights. And I also wanted to give a special thanks to Leslie Bateau and Jennifer Graves for all their great work in this protest. So we can give a round of applause. Okay, so for the May Day event, we had about 100 students that came and protested. We had about 4 NHPS students that kind of gave a speech addressing the injustices. There was many coverages by New Haven Independent, New Haven Register, and also just another thanks to all the organizations that were involved. Yes, and then recently the students of NHPS took a bus to Hartford's Capitol, and we had about 3 NHPS students that spoke on on education and equality. And also to reiterate that CT's current 4.3 billion surplus that could be used to fund our schools and give students more opportunities and resources. And also universities like Yale that should chip in. And we also had 6 students deliver a letter to the governor's office that was created by the student representatives. And yes, those few things.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cologne. Okay, any questions or comments for Ms. Cologne? Dr. Benitez?
Yes, I would like to congratulate the students for having the agency to organize and to be able to talk about something that is of their interest, but that is also of the interest of other children. Not all of them were present, but the fact that some students took of their time and their effort to represent their peers is really a very proud moment for me. So thank you, and hoping that you continue to find ways to make your voice heard. And again, the more you talk to us and to the community and in your buildings, the more the adults will understand what is your reality at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Benitez. Mr. Wilcox?
I just want to echo those and say that I really hope that the governor and our New Haven legislators are listening to the student voices and all the voices of school staff and board member voices, as well, as we try to raise the alarm as to where things are going without the additional funds that New Haven students deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, just want to say thank you very much for your leadership and even coming back to report what has been done. So thank you very much for that. All right, thank you. Superintendent's report, Dr. Negron.
Good evening again. Today, again, I just want to extend my gratitude to the student representatives that participated in our advocacy efforts at the legislature. I also want to express my gratitude to Leslie Blateau and the rest of the NHFT who supported with the organizing, our student speakers who were so eloquent in describing the current conditions. And last but not least, I also want to thank Tiffany Jackson and Monica Abe, who were helping me with last minute details, and also the other 7 superintendents that answered the call to present as a unified front in terms of what is needed and what we need from our governor and the rest of our legislators to continue to support and bring some much needed relief to the educational crisis that we're having as it relates to funding. So again, just want to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? Thank you. Thank you for your leadership and work. Seeing none, we'll move to the next item, the president's report. 2 things. I want to thank the public for your participation and public participation today. So thank you very much. My second note is I had a great opportunity for me to be present for some of the presentations by the New Haven Teacher Leader Program. There was a showcase at Davis Academy on last Thursday, May 8th. I want to thank Ms. Leslie Blateau for the invitation. And not only did I learn from what I was able to witness, but I was also just further encouraged and reminded by the extra work and mile that our teachers go. They definitely could have not done this, but to take time to do research and then put together a presentation and then share with their peers, and then me to have an opportunity to be present. Just thank you for your leadership, your work, your continued dedication. I did have a suggestion for maybe the slides that come to the board if the teachers wanted to share, just for us to see and read through the information that was there. The topics were, my understanding is that the topics were important to them and the topics were important to our district. So I appreciate what was done. So thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation for me to show up. So thank you. Any discussion? Yes.
I would just like to echo that. I was able to attend a little bit later. We missed each other, I think, but presentations I saw were amazing. They were really terrific. So I commend the teachers that participated in that exercise. I believe those presentations deserve a wider audience. I believe that they should be heard and shared widely. And so I look forward to seeing them when they're posted. So I can see the ones that I missed, but also rewatch the ones that I saw. I think that they were thought-provoking. They were well put together. It was really wonderful. So I commend everyone that participated in that.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Downer.
Yes, I got the chance to attend. Thank you. Thank you, Leslie, for the invite. I attended after another meeting, running from one meeting to the other. But I am in agreement with bringing it here and bringing it to the board members, the slides, the standardized testing, and they talked about the difference between the standardized testing versus the other testing that we do and how relevant it is to our teachers and, you know, their beliefs also, you know, right? So I think it's so important for the little part that I did stay with, and from bouncing from meeting to meeting, I must have missed a lot in the beginning. So next time I'll try to not have any meetings, make sure I'm there for the whole thing. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further discussion, we'll move forward. There's a teacher and learning reports and facilities naming committee report by Dr. Joyner, and he's not with us today, so we're thinking about him. Next is the Head Start report. Mr. Wilcox?
There's no report, as we have not met since our last meeting, but our next meeting is this Thursday at 5 p.m.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay. Next, the Citywide School Building Committee report and the Finance and Operations report. Mr. Wilcox?
All right, so for citywide, we did meet last Thursday. The facilities report is posted for everyone's review. One of the things that I brought up in that meeting and wanted to bring up tonight is I do think we need to have a meeting with members from our facilities staff, athletics at Cross, city parks, and some parents that are involved in the sports teams to talk about the Cross East Rock Sports Complex, to address some things that might be falling through the cracks, because it's shared responsibility for various parts of that. So I'm hoping that that meeting comes together sometime in the next week or 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. President?
Yes, Ms. Downer?
Yes, also at that meeting, I requested a letter of, you know, to come back to, yes, it was to come back to that building meeting on, was it the Placegate for Jackie Robinson? I'm just trying to figure out if it was the F&O, then I pull back my comment. Can you clarify that, Mr. Wilcox? I went to 2 meetings this week. They all sounded the same.
I can understand that. The meetings do stack up. We can, we'll put that on the discussion item calendar for our next F&O meeting, regardless of what meeting it came out of. Happy to do that if we could talk after the meeting and
Yes.
make sure I get the wording down.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You cover F&O also? Is that-
Oh, I'm sorry. And
Oh,
F&O,
sorry.
in addition to the action items that we went through, We also had a look at the food service budget. Thanks to a lot of work on Mr. Young and his staff's part, we are in budget with food service at this point, although it is tight, but we are in budget. And we also heard the beginnings of the plans about school bus stop arm violation enforcement, where there's a plan that's working through the city and the alders that will potentially attach cameras to school buses so that when the red lights start and the arm is extending, people that speed by, which we see quite often, will be automatically ticketed. So we're going to hear more about that, and I'm sure there's lots of questions about the details that we'll have when this becomes more real in terms of what goes on paper. So
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, our governance report, Dr. Benitez.
Yes, good evening, Board of Education and the public. We had our meeting on May 6th, and we are at this moment submitting the policy on electronic devices for a first reading, but we are pulling for a moment our policy 5114, which is suspension and expulsion. We have to bring it back to committee as there has been some recent updates from CAPE with regards to this policy and updates that have to do with the definition of bullying. So we don't want to approve a policy that we know needs adjustment. So we're bringing it back to committee. But today we are submitting the electronic devices policy for the first reading.
Thank you, Dr. Benitez. Any discussion? Seeing none, thank you. The Food Service Task Group report. I look forward to the upcoming meeting of the Food Service Task Group. I know two of the items the group is working on. One is the meal plan for the new academic year. Three things. The allergy plan and getting information from parents that's updated and documented in terms of the need around food allergies. And then the summer meal programming that will happen with the district, and also the gap that happens between when any summer program ends and the academic year starts for our students. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So move.
Seconded.
Thank you. That's been moved and seconded. Ms. Downer,
Yes.
Mr. Juarez,
Yes.
Mr. Wilcox,
yes.
Dr. Benitez,
Yes.
Ms. Cologne,
Yes.
Mayor Elicker.